Hello, everyone. Good evening. Salam, namaste. What Chai did for us today was really profoundly what we are as transgender people. There is happiness, there is sadness, but one thing is for sure, we will always be united and stay together. I'm really honored to be up here and speak to you and try to hold my emotions as I get very nervous of what this number is going to be like. How many of us from that side are going to be on this side, on this altar? I ask that myself every year. And I ask that we come together in these spaces with so much more joy, with so much more togetherness, with so much more love, because we are all one at the end of the day. "321 of us didn't make it to see today. 60% of them were younger than me. I'm 43 years old. I'm a trans immigrant, and I've lived in 4 countries, 11 states, 8 cities. And yet, we are all looking to belong. And our stories, our histories, continue to get erased while we are still on this earth. So give it up for the people of San Francisco, our trans leaders who make this happen, who bring us into the sacred space. Babita, Ekta Nayak, Kajal, Rani, Asma, Rani, Nandini, Praveen, Ali, Alex, Ruby, Swapna, Aruna, Pravalika, Deepika, Praveen, Janu, Lahari, Esther, Sangavi, Kirtana, Zeenath, Rajni Nayak, Sakshi, Aparna, Mahamandaleshwar Pinky Nandagiri, Manasa, and Arimi. These are the names of many that are from my immediate community that I belong to, the Jamaat, back home in India, back home in Bangladesh. These are names that we will never hear again, but we must never forget to keep saying them over and over, because they're here with us. I miss the laughter of Ivory in our oxygen chamber as we were recovering from surgery, the funniest gal. I miss Lisette giving it to the cis people when they don't show up for us, right? You know Lisette. We have to stay together in this, folks. I can't begin to tell you how much it's important for us to be able to show up for one another. 45% of trans people erased in this world are because of xenophobia. Let us address xenophobia. In this very moment, we have a responsibility and an accountability to each other to hold each other in love and overcome xenophobia. And that includes Islamophobia too. That includes whorephobia too. And so many of our existence that are more than just being a trans person. I can keep going with the list of names: Devi Ashima, Kunal, Joiti Akhtar, Nagini. The list goes on and on and on. We need to be able to stay whole as one community, and I want to really uplift our transcestors who were beautifully celebrated here, but I also call upon the younger generations that need to show up for the trans elders that are here with us today. We need to uplift them, we need to care for them. Maybe a small check-in, maybe a call, maybe a Facebook ping, maybe a lunch. if you can. Why is it so foreign to see foreigners like me in this very room with my siblings and leaders from Ella para Trans Latinas? On May 8th, we had a hearing pleading our case as we came from countries where we see year after year the highest number of trans deaths: Brazil, Colombia, Peru, India, Mexico, Pakistan, and United States of America. And we're still waiting to see that happen. As somebody who walked these streets about 20 years ago and somehow survived 7 hate crimes, and I'm here to tell you the story, I exist with a hell of a lot of survivor's guilt. And I don't ask for you to exist with that, but I ask you to take that, turn that hate, turn that frustration to love for one another, and accountability that we need from our very own cis LGBT people. We recognize that we will exist further marginalized if we don't take up voice and space and be unapologetic. And that is what I strive to do every single day. It is not about mocking each other about our accents. It is not about trying to think from a mindset of lack. It is not about perpetuating hate against our own selves, given our internalized transphobia. It is about coming together for trans joy. We need to address the racism in our community. There is not any surprise that we see Black trans women making up 94% of trans deaths, not just in America, but worldwide. It's people of color, trans immigrants, trans migrants who have moved somewhere else, fearing prosecution for who they are. And we need to fight white adjacency in our trans community. Let us address anti-Blackness in our own community so we can show up for the Black trans folks. We also need to stop thinking that America is the world and the world is America. We are seeing what is happening to children across the world where America has no business to be. We need to make sure that we show up for our trans masculine siblings and family. There is no negotiation on that. We are all in this. It's not numbers. It's the quality and the fullness of life that each one of us can and will and must live. I have a son, a trans son, whose name I would just keep private. But every single day I wake up to many messages from my community I'm grateful for as I check upon them. His journey has been one that's marred by this perpetually problematic male patriarchal society that also suffocates us trans women. But for him, as an example, he couldn't even keep open a trans small business that he was allowed to get funding from. Every single day, I check upon him to make sure he's okay. Because again, my dearest trans family, it is not about quantity. It is not about how much we have been able to thrive on our own. It is bringing our people along. And trans masculine folks are here and in this very city need to be surviving and thriving, not getting killed. We need the world to wake up to the trans murder endemic and the pandemic and the genocide. Because guess what? A genocide that's happening also has trans kids, and that is trans kids genocide happening right now. And we need to protect those trans families that come to San Francisco seeking refuge and sanctuary. And how do we do that when we have no funding? when we have no support, when we ourselves are struggling with housing challenges, when we ourselves are building a strategy on how to walk from home to the store so we don't get shot or killed. It is taking that action with love and with a lot of hugs. It is that momentum that we need to build to change and build perspectives from one another, of wherever we come from, whatever language we speak, that we are all one as the beautiful trans divinity that exists on this earth. I finally want to say this. I really hope we come together and be able to change November 20th as not a Transgender Day of Remembrance, but a Transgender Day of Revelation, so we can be with our ancestors, have them amongst us, but be able to be in joy and go home to bed feeling that we are complete, we are true human beings, we are here to be here for a long, long, long time. I want to say to each one of you, we are a reflection of those that have passed on, and they're a reflection of us. They're our communities. We are their communities. So let's hold each other together and fight for the greater good of our transgender community. You are all loved. You're all a blessing. We build with love, and of course, we are unapologetic, so never apologize for being trans. Turn that anger of transphobia into icicles of hope, and that frustration of misogyny that is killing us today to be able to build mountains of solidarity together. Love you very much. Thank you.